dear students, myself Gangadhar Solanke, and I welcome you all to the MCGM's virtual classroom. Hello my dear students, today we are going to start with the topic endogenetic movements, and which we have already started. In this topic we discussed about the slow movements, fold mountains, block mountains, rift valleys, continent building movements, and now today we are going to talk about sudden movements, and in sudden movements we have to study about earthquake and volcanoes. So in the beginning of the chapter we have discussed and studied the news atom on earthquake, earth which means the ground, and quake which means trembling. So earthquake is the movement of the earth's crust, and you have been acquainted with the magnitude and effects of the earthquake through the activity at the beginning of the chapter itself. So now we will look at the sudden movements called earthquakes and volcanoes in the earth's interior in detail. So the first and the most important thing to know about earthquake: what is earthquake? A natural vibration of the ground or the earth crust produced by force is called earthquake or seismic forces. Now here the word a natural vibration is very important when we are talking about earthquake. An earthquake is what happens when two blocks of the earth suddenly slip past one another. Like here in the figure you can see, because of the movements occurring in the interior of the earth, tremendous tension is created in the earth's crust, and when the tension goes beyond limits, the energy is released in the form of waves, and this results in trembling of the earth's surface. That is what we call earthquake occurs. Now the next thing, the shaking. We are using different words here: vibration or trembling, or now here one more word, shaking. The shaking of earth caused by waves moving on and below the earth's surface. Earthquakes are shaking, rolling or sudden shock of the earth's surface. A sudden slipping or movement of a portion of the earth's crust followed by a series of vibrations. Now here you can see before earthquake, tectonic plate and fault line, and what happened exactly after earthquake. Here tectonic plates slide over each other. So in short, earthquake is nothing but the trembling of the earth's surface, or it is vibration, or it is shaking of earth. And the magnitude of the earthquake is measured by Richter scale. This one is the figure given in our textbook, which is of simple seismograph and the graph, seismogram and graph. Now the causes of earthquakes. earthquake क्यों होता है? Moving of the plates, then the colliding of plates, plates sliding one below the other, forming of fractures in rock layers due to tension in the interior of the earth, and occurring of volcanic eruptions. All these are the reasons or the causes of earthquake: moving of the plates, colliding, plate sliding, fractures, or because of volcanic eruptions. And now we will talk about the effects of earthquake. Here you can see we will go in detail about the effects of earthquake, but before that one thing which we have to understand here about the focus and epicenter. Because of the movements occurring below the earth's surface, tension is created and it keeps on accumulating. So, high energy is released at the place where this tension mounts up, and this is the center of the earthquake, and it is called the focus or hypocenter. Here you can see focus or hypocenter. Energy waves scatter in all directions from the center, and the place on the earth's surface where these energy waves reach first is called epicenter of the earthquake. Now, from focus to here, epicenter. It is the nearest place on the earth's surface from the focus, and it experiences the first tremor. The epicenter is perpendicular to the focus. To understand this in detail, you can go through all these figures. Here is the focus, then this one epicenter. Same thing here, focus, epicenter. Again here epicenter and focus exactly perpendicular. So, the place on the earth's surface where these energy waves reach first. एक तो एनर्जी वेव्स क्रिएट होती है और अर्थ के सरफेस पे जहाँ पर ये सबसे पहले पहुँचती है उससे हम epicenter कहते हैं. So, when the tension is released at the focus, here when the tension is released at the focus, the released energy travels in all directions. This energy comes towards the earth's surface in the form of waves, and the seismic waves can be divided into primary, secondary and surface waves. When the tension is released at the focus, the released energy travels in all directions, and this energy comes towards the earth's surface in the form of waves. The seismic waves can be divided into primary, secondary and surface waves. So, it is very clear, जब एनर्जी वेव्स क्रिएट होती है तो वो ऑल डायरेक्शंस में ट्रैवल करती है और फिर उन्हें डिवाइड किया गया है प्राइमरी, सेकेंडरी एंड सरफेस वेव्स में. नाउ हियर द फर्स्ट वन, प्राइमरी or P waves. These are the first ones, first kind of waves to reach the surface of the earth after the energy is emitted in the earth's interior. They travel at a very fast speed from the focus of the earthquake in a radial direction. Here you can see direction of the P waves. Subjected to a P wave, particles in the rock move in the direction of waves to and fro. The wave moves to and fro, and therefore, these waves are also called forward backward waves. These waves can travel through all the three states, that is liquid, solid and gaseous. But while traveling through liquid medium, the direction gets changed. It is because of the primary waves that the buildings on the earth's surface move back and forth. जब भी हमें अर्थक्वेक आने पर बिल्डिंग्स हिलते हुए दिखती है आगे पीछे, इट इज़ बिकॉज ऑफ द पी वेव्स और बिकॉज ऑफ द प्राइमरी वेव्स, क्योंकि इनका जो डायरेक्शन है वही टू एंड फ्रो होता है. नाउ द सेकेंड वन, body waves or S waves. The waves which reach the earth's surface after the primary waves are called secondary waves. That is in the name only. Primary wave जो सबसे पहले पहुंचती है और secondary waves जो next to the primary waves के बाद पहुंचती है. The waves which reach the earth's surface after the primary waves are called secondary waves. These waves also scatter in all directions from the focus of the earthquake, and their velocity is lesser than the P waves. The particles lying in the way of these waves move up and down. Now, in the primary waves it is to and fro, and now here in the secondary waves it is up and down. These waves can travel only through the solid medium, and whereas the primary waves can move through all the three mediums, that is liquid, solid and gaseous, but secondary waves can travel only through the solid medium. They get absorbed as they enter the liquid medium. The buildings on the earth's surface move up and down because of these waves. These are the more destructive than P waves. Next one, surface or L waves. Here you can see all the three waves, that is P wave, S wave and L wave. These waves are generated, here you can see, these waves are generated after the main primary and secondary waves reach the epicenter. They travel in the direction of the circumference of the earth almost towards the crust, and they are highly destructive than primary and secondary. So, here if you people observe this figure carefully, then you can easily understand the difference between the primary waves, secondary waves and surface waves. And the next thing, earthquake seismograph. Through this instrument, a graph showing movement of seismic waves can be generated. After studying this graph, the magnitude of the earthquake is known, and it shows a simple seismogram and a seismograph prepared from it, which is given in our textbook also. So, now with the help of modern technology, advanced seismographs have been designed. With their help, even microseismic waves can also be measured. So, by using this, we can measure the intensity of earthquake. Now, the effects on people and the built environment, or the effects of earthquake. Very common: collapsed buildings, destruction of road and rail transport systems, destruction of service provisions, that is gas, water, electricity, telecommunications, fires, floods, food shortages, disruption to the local economy, death, injury and diseases. Some effects will be short term, others long term. Effects depend to a large extent on the ability of the area to recover. So, the cracks or fractures develop on the ground, causes landslides, which leads to sliding of rocks. Sometimes the groundwater changes its course. For example, wells may get water or may dry up. This is very interesting to understand. किसी एक वेल को अगर बहुत पानी है और अर्थक्वेक की वजह से ग्राउंड वाटर जो है उसकी डायरेक्शन चेंज हो जाती है, तो पूरी वेल जो है वो ड्राई हो सकती है, या फिर किसी वेल में पानी नहीं है तो उसमें पानी आ सकता है. Some areas get uplifted while some may subside. Tsunamis are generated in oceans, and these waves can cause great loss of life and property in the coastal areas. In snow-covered areas, avalanches may occur, buildings collapse and loss of life and property occurs. Transportation routes get disrupted and the communication system collapse. Next thing, volcanoes. Hot, solid, liquid and gaseous materials are thrown out from the mantle of the earth onto the surface of the earth, and this process is called volcanic eruption. So, in this not only the soil, but liquid and gaseous materials also thrown out. During this process, ash, water vapor, various types of poisonous and inflammable gases, hot molten magma, etc. are thrown out. And when the molten magma comes out on the surface, it is called lava. Again, the basic question, what is volcano? A volcano is a vent or chimney that connects molten rock, that is magma, from within the earth's crust to the earth's surface. The volcano includes the surrounding cones of erupted material. Volcanoes are formed when magma from within the earth's upper mantle works its way to the surface, and at the surface it erupts to form lava flows and ash deposits. Over time, as the volcano continues to erupt, it will get bigger and bigger. Again, with the help of diagram, you can easily understand this. A volcano is an opening in the earth's surface. Now, here is the opening, this one, this. Ash and lava come out and build up, forming a mountain. The word volcano comes from the name Vulcan, who was the Roman god of fire. Here you can see the magma and how it comes out. Here again you can easily understand. Now, on the basis of the type of eruption, like in the earthquake, here on the basis of the type of eruption, volcanoes can be divided into two types, that is central type or conical volcano, and the second one fissure type volcanoes. So, here is the first one, central or conical volcano. During eruption, the molten magma comes out through a pipe like vent inside the earth's surface. Now, here you can easily understand this. The molten magma which is coming out through a pipe like vent, here this is like a pipe inside the earth's surface. The lava spreads around the mouth of this vent, and when it comes out, here lava spreads. As a result, cone-shaped mountains start forming and conical volcanic mountains are formed. And here the next one, fissure type volcanoes. During eruption, when the magma comes out not from a single vent, जैसे कॉनिकल में एक सिंगल वेंट है, वैसे यहाँ पर सिंगल वेंट नहीं होती है, बट फ्रॉम मेनी क्रैक्स लाइक दिस or fissures, it is called fissure type volcanic eruption. The molten material coming out with the eruption spreads on both the sides of the fissure, and as a result volcanic plateaus are formed. Deccan Plateau of India has also been formed due to such a type of volcanic eruption. So, the two types, central type or conical volcano and the fissure type volcanoes. Now, here the example you can see which is given in our textbook. Mount Fujiyama in Japan and Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania are examples of central type volcanoes and conical mountains. And the next one, the Deccan Plateau of India has also been formed due to such type of volcanic eruptions. Now, in this, the next thing, causes and effects of volcanoes. And the first thing, causes of volcanic activity. When a part of the Earth's upper mantle or lower crust melts, magma forms, and a volcano is essentially an opening or a vent like this, through which this magma and the dissolved gases it contains are discharged. Now, the one more diagram to understand. This is magma chamber here, lava, this one is the vent, and here you can see how it comes out. So, inside the earth, heat and pressure causes rock to melt and turn to magma. Magma is forced up to the surface of the earth because it is less dense. Effects of volcano. If we talk about the positive effects, which are not given in our textbook, but ash add to the soil fertility and farming, new minerals may be discovered, promotes tourism, research and education purposes, and geothermal energy or renewable energy. And the negative, loss of life and property, air pollution because of dust, smoke, ash, gases, water vapor which remain in the atmosphere for a long time, and this may create imbalance in the environment. Land may become fertile due to volcanic ash. Many minerals are found near the earth's surface because of lava. New land is formed due to volcanic eruption, or at times in island may even disappear. Lakes are formed at the mouth of the craters of dead volcanoes when rainwater accumulates in them. Water pollution, earthquakes may occur due to volcano and increase in temperature of the area. So, these are the effects of volcano. And now, here is the figure 2.18 which is given in our textbook, which is of world earthquakes and volcanoes. Here you can observe and study about the plate consuming margins, plate creating margins, and earthquake zones and volcanoes.
Subscribe the channel and press bell icon to get notifications.
So, my dear students, this is all for today. Thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe, take care.